Hey guys, I'm Desikan, and today's video I'm going to be talking about products that I've changed my mind about, like for the better or for the worse. So these are products I used to like and then don't like it anymore, or products I never liked in the beginning and then I've changed my mind about, because this is a normal human tendency, right? And sometimes you just don't really like a product and then you get around to working with it and then it's just starts to work out a little bit better for you. You start really liking it, or a product that you really liked back in the day, over time you just don't really like it because you have other preferences. So those are the products I'm going to be talking about, and the reason I'm going to be doing this video is because every time I use some products that I don't really like back in the day and I recommend later on, a lot of you guys get suspicious and are like, okay, this video, like leave a link and then be like, this video you mentioned that you don't really like the product and now you're talking about it. Can't trust these YouTubers anymore. But the reason is that, my preferences would have changed and the way I use that product also changes, and that's the reason I always mention it as well. But okay, not everyone watches all of my videos, so just to clear the things out, the first product, I don't know how many of you guys remember the MAC Fix Plus. I still do stick with my opinion that I don't really like this as a setting spray that much. Okay, I can get it to work, but I don't really like the nozzle of this. Probably if I do pour it in some other kind of a container and then use it, I would still really like this. But the reason I really started to like this and started to use this is because I started to use this as a primer for my skin after, like, I applied a moisturizer just to prime my skin with a liquid primer. That's how I like to use this, and it is a Prep and Prime Fix Plus spray. So that's why I really like that, and this was suggested to me by one of you guys, and ever since I started doing that, I feel like my foundation goes on so well, my skin looks really nice, and I have been loving it. And another product that I did mention that I don't really find it to be worth the price, and it was not any more different than the other highlighters, is the Becca highlighter in the shades Champagne Pop. I still do kind of feel like there are so many affordable highlighters as well which does the same job. Okay, nothing out of the world. Same with the MAC Fix Plus. It's like any setting spray would do it, but it's just that over time you get to use it and your opinion about the product changes. If I run out of MAC Fix Plus, will I go out and buy it immediately? Not really. Similarly, Becca Champagne Pop. It was a revolutionary product, and it's such a sad thing that Becca is shutting down this year, and it was one of the companies that revolutionized this highlighting thing. Balm Cosmetics was the one that first came out with this Merry Luminizer, but these people made highlighters really popular, and some of the highlighters are really popular. Moonstone, Opal, Champagne Pop. I got this because I used to watch Jaclyn Hill a lot, and that's the reason I wanted to get this. I do still really feel like it is like any other highlighter, but I've started to like it over time. Like, you have to use it with this very subtle hand and make it like a subtle highlighter, and it looks a lot better that way. And before I get any comments about my greasy head, my hair is not greasy, you guys. It's really hot in here and there's no ventilation. Absolutely, there are lights hitting my face, no window, no fan, no AC, nothing of that sort. I just washed my hair yesterday and it's not behaving itself at all because of the humidity. So the next next couple of products are products that I used to love and I don't really love anymore. The L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour foundation. I really like this foundation because it is full coverage, it was matte, and I was not very well aware of a foundation like this, and when it first launched I was head over heels in love with it. This is the foundation I have on my face today. It's mixed in with my Too Faced Born This Way foundation, which is like turning out to be my holy grail foundation, something that I reach out for so much. So if you mix it in with the foundation and all, look at it, it just looks so beautiful. So this is that foundation that works according to your skin. If your skin is behaving really well, then it works really well on your skin. It looks really nice, it looks skin-like. But on days where you have like dry patches, texture issues, just where your skin is not behaving itself in general, this will make it look exaggerated, really bad. And so it's a very seasonal kind of a foundation, like a day-to-day kind of foundation. Like on a certain day, if your skin is behaving really well, then this foundation will look really nice. So it's just, again, keeping in mind that, and I think I have a few other foundations that I prefer over this, so that's the reason I've not been loving this that much, and I've changed my opinion about this. I feel like it does have a little bit of a white cast, which most of the L'Oreal foundations have. I even have the 24-hour Fresh Wear foundation. For some reason I like this better than that. I don't really reach out for that much, but yeah, this video is about preferences, change in preferences, right? So yeah, I would no longer like because I've tried out some other really nice foundations, I would no longer suggest that if someone is asking me for a certain kind of a foundation. So that's what this video is about. It's not that I'm just being dishonest. And then Maybelline Fit Me, where is that? You guys know I've talked about this so many times. I used to love this initially. I thought this is how foundations look. I was not very well aware. There were not too many foundations back in the day. They were not, I had never tried the PAC HD foundation and so many different foundations. So this seemed like the one to me because it was affordable, it was easily accessible, and there was like about 6 shades. So I don't really like the shade match. The 310 Sun Beige is not a very good match on my skin tone. I feel like it looks a little bit too powdery. If you have like combination oily skin, I think you would really like it because there are people in my family who have that kind of a skin type, love this foundation, looks really nice on them. On me, it just looks a little bit powdery, exaggerates texture, and the undertone is really very different. Okay. And see, that's what I'm talking about, this L'Oreal foundation. If I come really up close as well, you can see it looks really nice, like skin-like, not exaggerated, not too much of a texture, but it still does have some kind of like a white cast to it. Like it doesn't look like blended with your skin, but otherwise the texture, the consistency and all is really nice. And then the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser Concealer. I got this one in the shade Caramel. After multiple attempts to get my right shade. Okay, I have the shade medium, I have the shade honey. I never liked those. I found those to be very light on my skin. They were very stiff in terms of like blending. They were not blending easily. It's not as creamy as I wanted it to, and it was a task for me to blend those concealers. So I was like, okay, I'm never going to try this concealer again, and that's it for me. That's when one of you guys suggested that I should try out the shade Caramel, and you were like, you're gonna love that shade, and you're absolutely right. I really like this shade for some reason, and I feel like the formula is very different in this. It's a little bit more easy to blend, and the coverage is pretty good, like light medium coverage. It's what I have underneath my eyes today as well, mixed in with another concealer, just a little bit, but I really like how it looks. It looks really nice on my skin tone for my under eye area, especially because it is a little bit darker, but I can manage it underneath my eyes. That's the reason I mixed it in today with a lighter concealer from Too Faced, but it works really well, and I like how the shade changes. The formula changes as well. Like medium and honey, really hard to blend. Stark white underneath the eyes. Undertone is very different. But the shade Caramel is amazing. So after that, I really started to like this concealer. Still, the coverage is not on point for me. Like I want a little bit more of a coverage. Like same medium high coverage. But this is sort of like a medium coverage concealer, which if you don't really have very dark under eye circles, you can still get away with it. And then the MOrphe 35O palette. This is the original palette. This was the first product I ever tried out from MOrphe. I used to love this. You can see it's like very well loved. Okay, I've almost like hit pan on this shade right here, which it's like a big dent. Okay, and I've liked everything about it. It's what I have on my eyes today as well. But when I first started trying out eyeshadow palettes, there were not many eyeshadow palettes with good transition shades, good matte shades, good shimmer shades. So this was the one for me, not only for me, okay, a lot of people, and it had everything in one palette and a lot of like warm shades, like really nice shades. But I have now started to try out a lot of different eyeshadow palettes, and even from Morphe itself, like the Jaclyn Hill palette, the 39A palette, they have better shimmer shades and they pack a punch, and even the matte shades blend a lot better. This one, some darker shades like this dark brown and all, they don't really blend that well and they can look a little bit patchy and muddy on the eyes. But the newer shades, the matte shades are really nice, and the shimmer shades are a lot more pigmented. They look a little bit more shimmery and sheeny on the eyes, whereas this one not that much. And I have tried to wet it as well, but not my favorite. So I still do reach out for this, but not as much as I used to, and I don't really like it that much anymore. And for anyone who's going to ask me to give this palette to you, I don't do that, you guys. I don't want you to use a product that has already been so used up and beat up. It's really old, so no. And then another product which I used to like really a lot and kind of like reduce the usage of this is these two. These are the YVP color creams. This one is in the shade Witch. it's not like I don't really like this anymore. It's that the formula has changed over time. I feel like it's a little bit hard and thick now to squeeze this out of the tube, and I'm not that much into liquid blushes anymore, okay, especially when it comes to this shade, because I find it to be a little bit inconvenient for me. And though I have it on my face today, I really like how it looks. It looks natural, it looks really nice, but I also just use my lipstick and it looks the same. So that's one of the things. It's like my preference has changed, it's not the product. Yeah, it is the product as well. Like the consistency of the product has changed, not so much for the shade Witch, but the shade Goddess. It's dried down in the tube and I'm not able to get the maximum use out of it. This is one of my favorite liquid highlighters, like creamy highlighters. It doesn't have shimmer particles to it. It looks very natural, but also gives a little bit of a sheen. It's what I have on my cheek today as well, like pulled in all the way here. It looks very, very natural, and I think this is very close dupe for the MAC Strobe Cream. But the only thing is that the formula has changed over time. I feel like it would be nice if they worked on the formula and try to make it a little bit more durable, because I know it's been a while since I've got this, but it dried down, and I have received a lot of complaints regarding the same. Like on my comment section, a lot of people mentioned this, and when I used to get those comments, I was not able to relate with it because it didn't happen to me until now. Like it's really hard to squeeze the product out, and it's really thick and goopy right now that the formula has changed. And yeah, that's the only thing, but because it is quite pricey as well. I wish it didn't happen, but yeah, those are good products, just that I don't really reach out for them anymore as much. And then two more eyeshadow palettes. The Wet n Wild Rose in the Air eyeshadow palette, a really good eyeshadow palette. Do not come with me, I know this is a lot of people's favorite. It's very budget friendly, but if you guys have watched my affordable dose for affordable products video, I will link it right here. I have given you guys an option, an alternative for this product, which has more matte shades, more shimmer shades, and something that has a little bit more of a punch in terms of shimmer shades. Because my biggest biggest tip with this is that the shimmer shades don't pack a punch. They just, look at that, like vanish into thin air, blend into one another. There's no stark difference, so you have to use something else from another eyeshadow palette. It's not a very cohesive all-in-one eyeshadow palette, so that is why I don't reach out for it as much anymore. And also, when I got it, this shade was completely gone. It's got mold on it. It still does. So that was a bummer, which I couldn't use that as well. And then something else that I've changed my mind about is the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette. Same thing goes with this as well. The matte shadows are really okay. I mean, not really nice, but okay. They do blend decently, but they can get a little bit muddy, chalky looking on the eyes. Again, the shimmer shades, not very pigmented at all. Again, I've given you guys an alternative in that video, which I will link in the cards. You can find a much better eyeshadow palette for an affordable price as a dupe for this, over buying this one. This was pricey when I got it. This was for 1,725, but I did get it on a discount. Still, it's a lot of money and you don't get as much use out of it. And then the highlighter, the Makeup Revolution Shimmer Brick. I feel like shimmer bricks are really nice when you want to customize your highlighter, when you want to, especially for me when I'm like duping other highlighters and I want to like custom make the color, I can do that with this. But the formula of this is a little bit like shimmery, and it is a little bit too stark for me right now. Like I'm on the lookout for more subtle looking highlighter, something that looks really nice. I do use this even now when I want that intense highlight on my face, but otherwise I don't really reach out for it as much. But this was like my first highlighter, I think, and I was in love with it, and it was really affordable as well, so you have to give it to that product. But yeah. And then the last product is a lip product. It's not exactly like specifically this one. It is the Maybelline Touch of Spice lipstick. I used to love it, okay? I used to wear it so much until one day I decided, okay, this is not my shade. It's making me look really dull without makeup. And so, also this one. Oh my god, I have some eyeshadow on my forehead. Great, made a fool out of myself. I have a video coming up about nude lipsticks that you can wear without makeup that look really nice, so let me know if you want to watch that. I will be filming that for you guys. I know right now we are in a lockdown, we're not going out anywhere, but just gonna bring out some really nice content just to keep you guys a little bit distracted from the current situation. And when things get better, which it will, we'll be able to wear lipsticks underneath masks again. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy this video and kind of got to know what are the products that I really like now and I don't really like anymore. And also let me know if you guys have a product that you've changed your mind about for the better or for the worse. Let me know in the comment section down below. So yeah, after you comment, also make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Remember to wash your hands. Remember to wash your hands. Every time you've been around playing with friends, remember to wash your hands.